boxing up tapes. And I've got some music playing on the synth. Please tell me in the chat if you can hear the music and if the level of the music is good in comparison with the level of my voice. And I have it set up for a bit of latency. I have it for normal latency, not the fast one, so, or not the super fast one either. So it's going to be there's going to be some major delay, probably like 30 seconds or more, from when you chat to let me know if the levels are good to when I actually can see it. So keep that in mind. I'm just doing it so that you have better audio quality. Cool. Thanks. Thumbs up, Vincent Sky. All right, great. I'll have more elements I'll bring in a second, but let's just get to it. This is just hang time. Let's do choose your own adventure. Please vote whether we want to hear one of three voices next. Do we want to hear rings, plats, or bass? All right, vote it in the chat. I'm gonna get to boxing. Wait a minute, it's medicine time. Actually, I don't know if that's like a thing that can be on YouTube. Just in case. I don't want to get like whatever. I'm just gonna duck down, and you probably all know what I'm doing. So. Okay. All right. Whew. Feel that. Or maybe it was just the dizziness that I feel from dead backwards. Going down, getting back up. Bass. Boom, we got a vote for bass. If nobody else votes, we're gonna hear bass next. So yeah, I was just like, I did it backwards again. I was just sitting on the floor and boxing these things. I was just sitting on the floor boxing these things up. And I was like, I should do a stream while the music plays. Because it'd be really funny. You know, today's Bandcamp day, right? So some people have been buying the cassettes, and that's very, very cool. The album releases on Friday, the 11th, next Friday, 1 week from today. And I'm excited about that. I think it's the most horrible one yet. You know that, what movie was that? A Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like Halloween. I did it backwards again. It's Halloween, and they just finished Halloween, and they're like, I believe it was our most horrible yet. I love that joke. So yeah, I think it's my most selected yet. Now I know why I've got to turn these around over here. I'm putting it in backwards, because I usually start this way. Well, we're hearing the bass. That's who we have. No more votes. Here comes the bass. I don't have headphones on, so I can't really hear the bass too well because I have the speakers really low. I have to put them on. Get in the zone. Whoa. Oh, I hear it now. All right. Do I hear my voice? Yeah, I hear my voice too. Good. Tell me, Reg Barclay and Vincent Sky, the two people that I see in the chat, what's been going on? This is the hardest part of the boxing, is getting that tab in there. This could be your cassette right here. And I'm packaging. Kind of wish I would have made some stickers and I could have surprised everybody with stickers. But seeing that I got this one mastered, which sounds great, and I have no regrets whatsoever for having. I'm only delighted that Taylor Dupree of 12K mastered this album. But because of that, the profit margin is much smaller this time. So had I made stickers, I possibly wouldn't have made any money on the tapes, I think, maybe? Can't remember. Obviously, I wasn't a business major. That's totally cool. William Brewer, Reg Barclay, remote co-working. Yeah, exactly. I'm all good for it. Maybe this stream's better if I only do stream of consciousness. Or just fold the damn things and don't even say anything. I'm gonna take the headphones off because it looks better. I'm also gonna turn the synths up. Whoa, nice, Vincent. So, it was your initiation. You know, one of my videos was your initiation into Eurorack. By the way, this camera keeps... It, like, slowly descends. The lens is, I guess, old enough that it doesn't grip like it used to when it's mounted with gravity pulling on it. So, see if you can see it move. Yeah, right. Yeah, you get into Eurorack and it really takes some money. It sucks some money. I got into mountain biking recently, and that actually does the same thing, but not in as many purchases. But it's the same kind of thing where you can like buy used, but the thing is, it's like you get into it and then you're like, oops, I did it backwards again. You get into the mountain biking and then you're like, oh man, I need some gloves, you know, or whatever. I need some shoes that grip my pedals. It adds up, basically. You go into it thinking, all right, I'm going to spend X on a bike. That'll be awesome. And you realize there's so many more pieces to it. It's like, well, I'm going to go on long rides and I need more water, so I got to get this camera back. Shout out to my patrons for making me able to get a bike and a camelback and gloves and stuff and shoes. Man. Shout out to Moog and Headspace, and who else has sponsored things, creations of mine recently. I'm blanking on it. I just saw the little light bath square that oh no, never mind. That light bath square is added by YouTube. So yeah, William. What voice is this? It's the thing. It's the usual. It's the STOs. Just friends wrangling STOs through Magneto, like the usual. But the difference this time, you might be hearing it. It's a little different. Oh, I keep folding this near my body. The whole purpose is so you can see it on the screen. The difference this time is. Do you see the grid back here? I'm using Ansible. I'm back to Ansible in the performance case because I can be more specific with my patterns. I can see them. You know, you're dude. We're talking about this in our. We're talking about this like daily right now, actually. But you're making stuff with the mono ecosystem, you know, somewhat. And it's Kriya, man. Kriya is awesome. So this is a Kriya shape. I didn't even make this because of sound, right? I made this because it's making that shape. I just drew a shape. I picked a scale. And then I'm running it through 2 layers of abstraction. And that's what's doing it. Thanks, Birchier11. Yeah, VCV's the way. That didn't exist when I started. I got this, like, I can pull like an old man card, even though it's only been like a few years. It's been like 5 years since I started. But 5 years ago, VCV Rack didn't exist, and I think it's the best thing. I think everybody should pretty much start with that, unless they just, you know, have a ton of money and just want to spend it. But you know, if you start with VCV, you start to understand things for free, and then by the time you make your first purchase, like if you do it right, you're gonna know what you want, because you'll probably just get the modular versions of what you've been using. So I wonder if VCV like encourages more people to buy mutable and like already devices and stuff. I don't know, there might be more stuff on VCV. I've only kind of glanced at it. I used it a little bit. Was that 35? Yeah. All right, there are 35 tapes. Let's keep going. All right, let's change some music around here. Let's get some more stuff happening. It's getting a little old. It's not really generative. It's not all generative until we start bringing in these voices. The marbles voices. But one at a time here. So this is cool. The way I have this performance case set up is that the thing that is triggering the bass is also triggering plats. And so it's cool, they happen together. Let's listen to just those. Let's bring in some rings here. I'll play a little bit. Sweatpants vibe. I just realized I didn't think I'd be standing up here for the camera. All right. All right, whatever. All right. This video is not staying on YouTube. It's going to just be archived on Patreon for what it's worth. So if now that I tell everybody that, they're probably gonna bookmark it now, and so I shouldn't have done that. Let's just let this sit for a minute. mountain biking injuries. Somebody said they talked. I can't even speak and read at the same time. But somebody rides bikes. And Dawson, yo, yes, I ride and do music. That's it. No more hobbies. Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't have any hobbies, other than music, and so mountain biking and like gravel biking like became a hobby, and I'm so happy that I have something that's not music. And I've been way more healthy. I've been like developing my quads and calves and my cardio. I've been feeling so much better. Riding is like hard work if you push and you want to be fast, you know. I love it. Thanks, Sleepy Sheep. Yeah, I like this zone that happened here. I just figured I was gonna make like rings, clouds, noises and stuff, but then this rhythm that I'm triggering it with was very apparent, and I'm like, yeah, stay there. Found it. So yeah, this is Marbles is making the notes for this. We're just hearing marbles now. Except rings is like, I mean, clouds is doing a lot. Yeah, it's so good to get out. Yesterday, I rode a local bike park, and there were these two guys there that were pretty experienced and riding like dirt jumpers. And they helped me learn to scrub this tabletop. I just started, right? I started in May. And I was successfully clearing jumps like that, but I was just jumping them pretty straight and didn't have much style. And so I was able to follow the guy that was really good, and follow his line so that I could come off to the left and then aim to the middle, so that would like whip the bike out ever so slightly. Yeah, it's T-Rex. Good ear, Jason. Jason K. Is it modulated? It's actually not modulated. Wait, it does sound modulated. Hold up. Oh yeah. It's being modulated by very good. This, can you the arc? Just some sine waves or triangles that I can speed up or slow down. Right. But it was nice slow like that. Let me grab more tapes. Oh, hey everybody. Check it out. Here's how it looks. I could have opened with that. I could have led with that one, but this cover, I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Michael Kempen designed this one, and I love this work, this piece. He uses, is it called gouache? Gouache? I forget. I forget now. But yeah, when I first learned about his work, I learned how to say that word. It's the only time I've used it. But this is a gouache piece that, you just digitized and then laid out on the cover, with the text and all that kind of stuff. But it's a real simple, like minimal design, and it's just text based, and it does this kind of classic, almost like Blue Note record sort of thing. With the art down there, and then this vertical thing. I love the layout. I love the way he did it. Guess what? Can anybody guess this typeface? Oh, it won't focus that way. This has autofocus. And no. Okay. Wait, let me try again. anybody can see it, anybody guess the typeface? Gouache. Cool. Thanks, Jason K. So the bass line, Walther, is also marbles. Oh, the audio module, I bet you're asking. Always match your LaCroix to your background lighting. It's a 2 HP kick into the new Ripples. That is, because the new Ripples has a gain control. Like you can overdrive it, you can distort it a little. And so that's up a little bit to get some grit in it, and then the low pass is way down because the issue I have is not Helvetica, Zach S. Yeah, not Helvetica. But it's so hard to see if you didn't. Here, let's do it this way. Wait, okay. Here. So that was a wrap there. Wait. I'm having an up-down issue here, but yeah. Hard to see. Well, I don't expect anybody to really guess it, but it's DIN Pro. The regular weight, I think. It's not bold. And fun fact, does anybody know what modular company actually uses that typeface as their main thing? And this was not, I did not. Let's just say the designer did not know that, and he chose that typeface, and I was like, cool. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's totally a blank ripoff. So can anybody guess what that is? Yeah, using 2 HP. I'm really having a problem with this. There we go. 2 HP kick as a bass line, yes, but don't get too excited. You have to filter it afterwards. You have to low pass it, because the issue I have with the 2 HP kick is there is this click. There's this transient note that clicks at the beginning of the kick, and it sounds terrible. And it is a full spectrum click that, in my opinion, ruins it. And anytime I've recorded with it without a filter afterwards, I've taken it multi-tracked in post and I've run it through Isotope RX. I did it backwards again. Isotope RX to remove all those clicks. I do remove click processing on it, and so it's a real I'm not into it. I just wish it could do its job in 2 HP, but there's no kick that doesn't have that super click on it, basically, in the module. Otherwise, it's super distorted, and I don't want that either. So I just run a filter after it, and it's good enough. But yeah, the people who have guessed mutable that's correct. It's totally mutable's typeface. Monome. I wonder what Monome's is. Let me see. It's in caps, and I can't really identify that way. But knit. Oh yeah, knit. The mini plats, right? Yeah, I was doing that for a while. I was trying that, and for some reason I didn't like the sound. I forget what it was. There was something about it, other than the fact that in this case I'm using that particular module as the 4th synthy sound. So it was already being used, and I needed a different bass. But I'm trying to think about who would make a small module that would take up less than 10 HP, because it's 8 HP for ripples and 2 HP for the kick. So what is less than 10 HP that could make a nice bass? And it'd be an added bonus is that it can add some higher harmonic content, some overtones that sound good, but not the FM twang. Exactly. William, in one of our sessions, yeah, we were making that. You were working on that. I don't think that bass sound's the bass sound I'm looking for. I'm looking for more of a fuzzy, bitey sound. Like, I would really, ideally, I would love my bass to be able to go from, like, the sine thing that this is. Oh right, it's Platts that ends up twanging. Yeah, though you can use Platt's kick, but there was something about the kick too, and I don't remember what that was. But oh yeah, I keep folding this off camera. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was thinking about Bastel. The Bastel does have a module. What is the module from Bastel that lets you, that would do that? But I would love a bass that could go from this style of sine to almost like an SH-101 saw square, filtered saw square. It'd be amazing. I mean, this might be as good as I'm going to get right now. But I wondered about Entity. Does everybody remember the SSF Entity? I don't even know if that's made anymore. But that one seems like a possible, because it has the, oh, sorry, right. I forgot. $18 HP. And that's because I want envelope control over the sound. I want to be able to envelope it if possible. And hold up, I think I'm wrong. Okay, sorry, no, the envelope is for Platts. It's for the Platt sound. Though, if I could envelope it and not just get boom from my bass, and I could have boom, that would be amazing. And I could do it with what I have here, sharing peaks between Platts and the kick. And I could use the built-in VCA on ripples and give it a slow attack, and that would probably work. But my whole point is I thought about the Entity module, which has a built-in envelope. I think it has like a rise and fall, right? Yeah, I gotta look at T-Kick. That one's from way back. I remember when Bastel started. I had some of their wooden panel modules, but they were like taller than all the other modules around it, and it just like didn't feel right. It looks really cool in an all Bastel case, but otherwise it didn't seem to work the others. Try Sisters. Yeah, man, I love it. You're always thinking. You're always in. Yeah, exactly. Well, you're always thinking of what you have, you know. And you have 2 sisters. Is that right? 2, 3 sisters. You have 6 sisters. How many sisters modules do you have, William? But yeah, sisters pinging is basically the total sine there. But it's still, I would want to be able to filter whatever noise I could do afterwards, and so I still need a filter then. Plus, I only have 1 sister anyway. But not that I couldn't just get another one, I guess. More tapes. Okay, let's line them up over here. Wait. Lava, like lava, like hot lava. Your new, what am I sending? What do you mean sending? Oh, this! You just hopped on the thing. Okay, gotcha. What I am sending is my new cassette that is releasing next Friday. So Friday, December 11th. It's currently on Bandcamp, and it's still Bandcamp day, so if you buy the cassette, Bandcamp waives the revenue fee, and I end up getting the money that would otherwise go to Bandcamp. Isn't that freaking cool? Yeah, it's cassettes. Are we tired of the thing that Rings is doing yet? Let's make Rings come alive again. This time I'm sitting. Sometimes I actually do get lost in those little nom combinations. I forget which one I patched into which clouds parameter or whatever parameter I'm on. It's funny because like I keep changing which order I'm doing and they're not labeled. It becomes a memory game. Crunch. I read crunch and I thought crotch and I thought we're talking about that time I stood up. What have I missed? Oh, it just took me a while to process that. It's like semi-generative, and it would actually take longer to switch over to a fully generative patch. I'd have to patch it all up. So I know I said live generative ambient. I kind of said it before I realized what my actual patch was. They're also just keywords. I swear I never I started using ambient not because I felt it was a genre that I was playing, but because it seemed like a keyword that that made sense. Like if it weren't a keyword, I would never have wanted to call it ambient. It felt too weird. I keep boxing this off screen. It's like very normal for me to do this close to my body. It feels natural for me to do it close to my body. Oh, you liked Ring's FM mode. Is that Disastrous Peace? Is that what that's called? I never used that one that much. My buddy Todd Lampeo goes by Lampeo on the socials. He's really into that one. They make really FME stuff. What is the chordal plucking thing? Yeah, the chordal plucking thing. That's Platts in the green, in the first green mode. Watch my Loom 1 video. That's a classic. That's a I talk about Platts in that one and talk about that green mode that I use. I basically, when I got Platts, I started using it and really fell in love with it. And it's almost all I ever use Platts for at this point. Yeah, except environmental. Oh man, I bent these kind of weird. Except environmental music can also mean like field recordings and stuff. See, for me, there's no such thing as furniture music because I'm always sitting on the furniture, using the furniture, and admiring it, the upholstery. You know? Okay, change. Let's patch something into that knob so that it does it for me. I actually kind of need to attenuate it first. And I don't have that in the case. So I'm going to grab something passive that I can attenuate. That's what the Quad 10 is so good for. There, generative. I made modulation turn a knob for me to make a pattern out of cloud's density. Yeah, Platts is a good starter module, isn't it? I mean, it's a good beginning because it could just do so much, but it's not hard to understand the way like disting is. I mean, I have a disting in the system, so you know, I'm not disting. Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to sit in a room like furniture. The problem is, I end up paying so much attention to the upholstery. I don't just, like, you know, you walk into a room, you see the furniture, you don't usually flip that. I mean, if it's a really nice sofa or something, you might flip out, or if it's like an Eames chair or something, you might be like, this is a really freaking nice chair. But most of the time, you just sit on it, right? That's what Sachi was getting at, right? But now I'm just like, no matter what the chair is, I'm usually listening to it. And that's why listening to music while sleeping is like, I cannot do. And I actually this last, like month almost, these last few weeks, I've been, I just finished a project, is what I'm trying to say, for a meditation app. And they have sleep music, you know? And I made 5 45-minute pieces for sleep. That's going to be on the app, you know. It's not like Bath Reddit. It's just like, you know, you have to use their sleep music part of their app and listen to the music and then guess which pieces are like that. It's not going to be on yet. It's going to be coming out in the spring. But whatever the case, I made this stuff, and I found it a little hard to make at first because I was like, I can't sleep to any music, so I don't know where the boundaries exist. Like, how busy is too busy? Because no matter how ambient it is, I seem to listen to it, you know? It's not until I turn the music off that I actually can fully fall asleep, usually. So, I still think I made the music a little too busy. It's just what came out, and I just let it happen. And they're happy with it. I delivered it, and they like it. They seem to really like it, so it should be okay. But it's like, if I could do it over, I would probably try to be even more sparse, even more minimal. But yeah. Wow. We're getting through these. This is much easier than last year when I packaged 800 cassettes into 200 boxes. That took up a little more space, and I had to put paper in the boxes to like keep the tapes from rattling around. And did anybody who got those tapes, did they notice any fragrance? I put essential oils on most of the wrapping paper in them. There was sandalwood in probably every one of them, and then some others I would put little bits of lavender maybe occasionally. And there was another one. What would I use? Like maybe frankincense? I don't think it was frankincense. But yeah, so that was my little like surprise, since I didn't have any stickers or anything. Yeah, exactly. Even Cage's 433 actually is too much for me with sleeping, because the little moments that happen can be a little jarring when people cough and stuff like that. So, and that was sort of the issue I had with the sleep music that I made, where like I'd have like some like actual generative piano, and the moments, the like events, the piano events were maybe too jarring. Again, I didn't even try to sleep listening to it, because I just know me, you know. It would just end up with, I just end up losing sleep. So, but yeah, I'm hoping people can sleep to it. I used a good amount of white noise modulation on a couple of the pieces to kind of fill in the area, fill in the like, filtered white noise. Yeah, there's always something there. Exactly. I guess that's like the point of the piece in a way, you know. That's like a big point you can take from it. Kind of like Pauline Oliveros and Deep Listening, which I've still not read all of that yet. I realize now I actually need reading glasses. For those who know me that know, I've been dealing with vertigo for a year and a half. And it was reading glasses that actually triggered it, getting reading glasses in the first place. But now it turns out it's actually wearing them that is making it start to diminish. Yeah, but where was I going with that one? I forget now. Oh yeah, Deep Listening. So I haven't read the book yet, but Pauline's thing with oh wow, I guess we're on another row. With there we go, Deep Listening, so that everything, you just, whatever's happening, you know. I was actually at the Whitney Museum in New York. I wanted to say recently, but I guess it was last year. Last year, or maybe the year before time. And there was a Pauline Oliveros deep listening exhibit, and it was on the first floor. And I think it's the same open air area where I think there's was it the Whitney? I think it was the Whitney. Or was it the Rubin? It was the Rubin Museum, which has that spiral. Is that the Rubin that has the spiral staircase? Help me out here. I don't even remember, but it was whatever museum that is in New York that has the. I know that it's not the Guggenheim, so it's not that staircase, but there's this spiral stair thing, whatever. I think it was the place. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm making this all up. But I do know I was at a museum and there was a deep listening exhibit. And what was odd was that there was a glass wall to the left of the exhibit and a glass wall to the right. And you're standing and you're staring at a wall, and there's text on it, and they're on benches, and there's a little thing to read. And it's explaining what deep listening is, and it's giving you an invitation. The Rubin, thank you. It's giving you an invitation to listen. Just listen, pretty much. And what was going on behind the glass was all sorts of commotion. It was like a team of people, and they were, I think, building out that space for the next exhibit. And all sorts of stuff is going on. People are talking, and sort of little construction's happening, and there's like ladders, and then people are carrying the ladders across from one side where the glass is to the other side, and they're carrying all sorts of like construction things and making a big noise, and you're sitting there and you're deep listening, and at first you might think, because it was part of an exhibit with this like Buddhist exhibit on, like all sorts of like meditation and stuff, basically. And so you've just seen this whole, I just saw this whole thing and went through listening to like these chants on headphones and watching certain video things. And Robert Ike Aubrey-Lowe, if you're familiar with the synthesist Robert Ike Aubrey-Lowe, he actually had a piece in it. And am I correct in remembering that there was a Laurie Spiegel piece in the stairway playing? I think there was. It was pretty epic. Like, this was the synthesists were out, in effect, like strong at this thing. And so you've just been in a pretty like meditative zone, and you come down and all this construction's going on, and like at first it's easy to think, oh, I wish they would shut up so I could meditate. And then you realize like, well, the deep listening is, it doesn't require the environment to be a certain way. It just requires you to listen. And then I started thinking like, wait a minute, is this the exhibit? Is all the people doing construction, are they even doing construction? Or is this the exhibit? And then I realized that later I thought, no, that's not the case. Like, it was just coincidence that was happening. But, in my state that I was in, I was entertaining the idea that this might be some like, not performance art, but you know what I mean? Like, this is the piece. Like, it's an experiential piece, like that, I guess you would say. Like when you go to those like theater pieces that, oh, I need more boxes. It was like immersive theater. It felt like immersive theater. hard to tell what's real. Yeah, surreal. Exactly. Speaking of meditation, I recorded a podcast today. I was a guest. This is my first podcast. I was a guest on Corey Allen's The Astral Hustle. It was very good. It was so much. He's great. And it was so enjoyable. And we talked about, he's also a modular synthesist. We talked about music and creativity and meditation. He's like a meditation teacher, and he's an author. Wait, did I do this right? So it feels weird. No. And a podcast host, right? And so, yeah, it was awesome. It's going to publish on Monday. Around like, oh, I flipped it the other way. That's why I'm bending everything the wrong way. I knew something felt wrong. Yeah, I'll be on The Astral Hustle. Look it up on, iTunes and Spotify and stuff, wherever you get your podcasts. It's like it's a podcast. It's a normal podcast on the normal platforms, and it's publishing on Monday around noon New York time. So it's really cool. I'm really I feel great. I was a little concerned. I was a little worried. It's like, will I be able to converse? Will I be able to talk and be present and listen and have something to say, right? But it just flowed. And Corey Allen is very good at, okay, it's kind of like a photographer. What makes a good portrait photographer? They gotta have the technique, yeah, sure, all of that stuff. But beyond technique, it's how they work with the subject. It's how they work with the person who's getting their photo taken, so that that person feels comfortable, and so that the moments of pure life, come out, and then they capture it, right? So Corey was like this. Like, it was just so easy to talk with him because he knows how to do that. And we even talked about that afterwards. He brought it up. He talked about the thing he does with guests, and some guests are more, nervous or whatever and stuff, and some aren't. And the techniques he's kind of learned over the years of having a podcast, of how to make people comfortable. And no, I didn't feel weird at all. That's what was amazing. Before we started recording, we were talking through this system it's this really cool thing. What is it called? Something when people have the company names and they're like, they remove the E of an ER at the end, like Caster or something. It's not that, I don't know, whatever. So it was this cool platform. Literally just logged in and it started working, and his voice was crystal clear. It was high-res audio, and it records each of our streams separately. It's a really cool thing. And apparently it's free right now too. It's a free platform during COVID times. But yeah, so he was talking about how he sometimes. Oh, we're right now. I remember where we are. There's so many things to focus on here, right? Wait, now maybe I have forgotten. Corey making me comfortable, talking about the beginning. Yeah, we started talking before we hit record, and we just hit the ground running. Like, from the very moment we started, it was like picking up on a call with an old friend, and you just kind of start talking. Just stream of consciousness, like where you are right now. You don't even go through like the pleasantries or anything. You're just like, yo, so yesterday I was thinking about this. Like, I have some old friends, like, friends that go way back. And one particular I can think of right now was that I lived with at one point. And when we start to talk, like, we just like pick it right up. But we may have not talked in like a season. But it feels like you're just picking right up where you left off. Well, it felt like that with Corey. It was just like, hey, dude. Granted, we've been IG messaging for a little bit, so yeah. But it was totally smooth, and it felt great, and I'm so happy, and I look forward to doing more podcasts. I'm hoping to be a part of Duncan Trussell's thing. Yeah, he had talked to me at one point about it. It didn't happen. And then Corey mentioned something to him, and that was very cool. And so maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Duncan's cool. Anybody listen to his podcast? I think he's hilarious. I would love to talk with him. He's so funny. Yeah, but he talks about like really good stuff too, really deep stuff, and really absurd stuff. But yeah. Corey's podcast is not as wacky as Duncan's. If anybody is not familiar with Corey, it's a little more serious, but it's still fun. Yeah. Let's change the music up. Slow at this because I forget how on Kriya to change patterns. It's going to take me a second. Is that all you do? You sure do. And look, it's a blank pattern. Let's make a new pattern. Still trying to figure out why it's not making sound. This is obviously I haven't used Kriya in a while. Help me out, William Brewer. What's going on? Thought maybe the octave was too low. That's not that. The fader is down on the mixer. It's freaking out is what it's doing. The low voice is freaking the F out, moving so fast. Yeah, something's wrong with that. I heard it doing some weird stuff before, and I was wondering what was going on. I think there's something going on with the patch where there's like a, like something is patched weird, and some cable is like erroring, you know? Yeah, because now it's like back to normal. So I'll have to troubleshoot that at some point if I'm ever gonna like perform with this one. I didn't expect that to stop. Oh, guess what I missed? Any Kriya? I just switched from cycle mode to the triggered mode and forgot that my triggers weren't patched. Does anybody know Just Friends? Does anybody understand like what just happened? You know, what I mean by that. Let's see what I've missed. Hearing wind from inside of something. Yeah, it was literally the notes were moving like that fast, but it was the kind of thing where like a quantizer mistracks. It's like a mistracking sort of thing. Like it was as if the voltage couldn't decide if it's going to go up or down, so it trills between both. So it's like you're giving it one note, but it's going real fast. That's my guess as to what was happening. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I was switching between modes on purpose, William. But the point, if I wanted to make it musical, my intention was to switch from cycle to trigger and immediately have that pattern start triggering. But I just forgot that it wasn't patched, and then it took me, I don't know, 10 seconds to process that. So the musical moment was kind of gone. But whatever. Corey and I talked about that on the podcast today. Like when you have an intention for something and you miss it, and how in the moment it feels so like wrong, and then you can listen back to that. Like for him, he says he'll listen back, and that moment was actually the good part, And it's funny when you're in that kind of situation. Here, let me move forward so we can get the hands on the table. So yeah, it's funny when you're in that kind of thing. It's about just like letting go and like not caring. Like that's what I'm doing right now for this. It's like I'm not approaching it as like, oh, this is a performance. I better do it right. That's how I try to approach it if it's a performance, because I want to keep the momentum up. But so what? If I miss something, I don't know. It's kind of cooler because then we can talk about what just happened. And that's just real. That's just like, that's the way patching usually is. Like, I'm just like, oh, I want to do this. Ooh, I'm going to do a cool trick. Like, I'm going to jump that table and whip, and then it, like, doesn't work. So then I'm like, oh, well, let me figure it out. To use the mountain bike analogy, the dirt jumper analogy. Yeah, we were on shape before, It was all on cycle, and so I was just doing the shape before, and now we're like triggering. By the way, I'm getting bored of it, so let me change some stuff. Trick. I will make a video of this and talk about it. But this is why I use Belgrade. This is one of the reasons why I use Belgrade. To get that like sort of brassy thing. See what I'm missing over here. Oh yeah, the flashing lights there is the Monome grid that is connected to Kriya, or connected to Ansible, the Ansible module that is running the Kriya sequencer. Monome is kind of complex. It's not like, oh, that's Renee. It's not one of the, oh, that's Marbles. It's not one of those kind of answers. It's like levels deep. But yeah. This thing. It's the sequencer. It's running the rhythms and the pitches that we're hearing. It didn't work at first. I was just trying to change the tempo. I haven't checked out the deluge, so I don't know how that works, but yeah. What is my sequence? It's literally a shape that I just quickly drew on this light board within a scale that I had previously set up and then chose. So it was just a blank pattern. I just started hitting buttons and made a shape. Literally, that's all it is. Oh, cool. My first Norns video had likes. Yeah. That's like just a real casual video of me just basically getting something working on MLR for the first time. That was back when MLR was pretty much broken, and it would make the whole Norns shut down because it would overheat. But then I was able to take it hiking on a cold day, and it worked. So I was able to say to the forum, hey guys, or, hey people, hey forum members online. It actually worked for me when it was cold. So it's probably a case of overheating. But I haven't used it much since. I do want to get back into it. I kept my Norns just because I like the community and I like to support them, and I like that they're making stuff and it's continually being developed, and so at some point I'll probably find use for it again. I have used it since. I used it on, not MLR, but I used Norns on that Anywhere in Nature video I did last year. Almost done. 5 more to go. Let's change the music. That's where we want to be. I like it. You'd be surprised at how different the music can be. All you do is slow it down. I did a little more than slow it down, but you slow it down, you give a little style. It's like that jump I'm learning to do on the bike. If you can just whip it just a little bit, you get that little movement in air, and it's got some style. And then the jump means so much more, you know? Just like make a simple change. Do it with some style. Wait, who's the grandfather? Grandfather of synthesis? Who is the grandfather of synthesis? Yes, symbolic space. Thanks. You're the first person to mention it. I found that black metal font and I thought it'd be hilarious to make a light path logo out of that. So yeah. I don't really tend to listen to black metal. Though I do listen to old Metallica from time to time. I was getting down with some Master of Puppets the other week. Waiting for that bass to happen. Wow, let's speed it up. Get away before it happened. I just think the tempo's too slow for it to easily happen. This is something we talked about with Corey today. Like, you just give up control. He was talking about like Ciani, like Suzanne Ciani, talking about how, which may have been something that Don Bukla said, of just like playing the synthesizers is like, the modular synthesizer is playing the Bukla is giving up 50% of control. You know, it's you're meeting in the middle, basically. Nice, Sunno. I don't know how you actually say. Hear people sometimes say Sunno, and I've called them Sun as well, so I don't really know how to say their name. I do know it's with two N's though, isn't it? It's like the amplifiers. Last cassette. We are about to box up the 100th cassette. And I will tell you, everybody, there are currently still 50 available. Last time I made cassettes, I had a run of 50, and then I did a second edition of 50. And this time I was like, F that. Let's just do 100 all at once. But the good feeling of doing 50 and then 50 is the first 50 sell out, and then you feel like you've accomplished something. And then you can do a second run, and then, you know, those can, yeah. But now I just feel like I'm not even halfway there. So if you like tapes, go get this on Bandcamp. We have another hour before, we have another couple hours probably until Bandcamp stops waiving the revenue share. Yeah. I kind of want Tasty Chips to message me and to say they want to send some stuff. But at the same time, I actually don't want to take on more projects this winter. I want to work on a proper studio album and not have a bunch of gear content to make, you know? So, but in the spring, I would love for Tasty Chips to get in touch with me because I really want to use that. I don't know if I know the ECR. I'm thinking of the GR, is the granular thing. So I haven't been following them that closely, but that granular thing that that Arbeni uses, I think is great, and I would love to check out more of their stuff. So, and no, I didn't make these myself. They're just my music, and then the artwork is by Michael Kempen, this gouache artist. If you go to my Instagram, he's tagged on that stuff. He's really great. He did the art and the layout, and then Taylor Dupree from 12K mastered it, and you know, I made the music and I mixed it, you know, and it's selected public works, so it's the stuff that's on YouTube, you know. It's like a retrospective of that or whatever, but it's all new mixes and they've been mastered, and so some of the mixes are actually so different that like the it's like a different arrangement. Like I did some editing where I brought voices in and out to make a little bit more compelling of a shape on some of the pieces. And it turned out pretty well. Some of you on here, I don't know if William's still on here, I know you've heard it. My patrons, a handful of my patrons helped me choose the track order. I had like a couple different sequences, track sequences, versions of the album that would fit the tracks evenly on both sides of the cassette. And they helped me choose that. What is great is both sides of the cassette are the exact same length down to the second. They're the exact length. And Taylor Dupree, when he was mastering it, found that to be really cool. He was really into the symmetry that when he finally noticed it. He did such an amazing job. It was so amazing working with him. This was the first mastering engineer I've worked with. I usually just try to soft master myself. And he just, other than just his job, the way he brought it to another level sonically and really brought out stuff that I wasn't able to do. Like I'm not technically advanced enough to do that, but beyond that, he was just so great to work with. Like he's such a warm person. 12kmastering.com for anybody that wants some mastering. He's got really reasonable rates, and he masters some serious stuff, I also think he masters a lot of the stuff that's on Revenge. I know he's mastered Emily A. Sprague's recent stuff, and I've been following his music for 10 years. So it was kind of an honor to get to work with him. I know I'm the one contracting him for this, but still it was great. So that was my experience with that. Yeah, so this is the cassette. That's what I made. And it's there are no new tracks that you haven't heard, but they are presented in a way that is new. Many of them are presented in a way that's new, and they all sound way better than my own soft mastering that I did for YouTube. But yeah, it's all the stuff from Baby Steps, if you remember the piece that I did where I was strumming the Ableton Push, and then the Rhythm of Desire, which is like that modular piece with the bouncing ball sort of rhythm from spring 2019 when I was preparing for that show in Brooklyn. And then Fairland Bond is a new name for one of the two pieces that I made during the Moog Synthesized live stream on their Instagram, which was basically the biggest show I probably have ever, not really. It may have been the biggest show I've played as Lightbath, because Moog has many tens of thousands of followers, so there were, I don't know, there were 500 or more people watching, I think. So yeah, I ended up making improvising two pieces during that, and Fairland Bond was one of them, and the other was Apudina, the one that's right after. Apudina, that's right after it. So I just flipped the order. We hear Fairland Bond first, just that's Fairland Bond, because that's where it's needed in the album. It needs a break there. That's the ballad version that I did on that Synthesized Live video. And then second side opens with Muricia, which is that SSL piece, that SSL promo that I did with the voice samples, and they're really fast. It's 300 BPM ambient, it's so fast that it sounds slow. And then an old one, the oldest one on the whole thing, is Peaks and Valleys. And that's that piece that I did with QPass when it came out. And so that's really resonant. It was the hardest one to get sounding good in the mix because it was so resonant. And then my friend Mike, who we were college flatmates, he has played synthesizer, tape echo, in Bing and Ruth, if you're familiar with the music of Bing and Ruth. He's awesome. He played some bass synthesizer in that. I felt like the piece needed a little bit more bass. And I was like, dude, can you just play something and I'll just see if it works? Just play some simple bass. And I've been working on a duo piece that, or like show. Yeah, we did a live event like almost 2 years ago now. And I have a nice video for it. And I think I might make an actual like Bandcamp release for it. And it's just not ready yet. I wanted to get it ready for Bandcamp Day, but it's like life just kind of got in the way. But Mike's great. I think he's really awesome. And so yeah, we had a duo. We played a duo show like almost 2 years ago, and it turned out nice. So, and then last track is Vision Therapy, which was that piece that I made with the Polyen tracker. And it's kind of like, it's definitely my most gentle piece. And it was definitely Taylor's favorite because like it's very 12K. Like it's the most, no, it's not very 12K. It's just the most 12K of my stuff. It's just very, just like simple, textural, gentle music. So yeah, it concludes on that. That's the tape. That's the album. It's on Bandcamp digital. It's on Bandcamp on these little guys. 50 of them left. Let's box up the last one and call it a night. Thanks for hanging, everybody. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for coming on. Printers always give you extra J cards. Oh, here, let's do this. That's what the inside looks like. It's the little like poem that I made on the first 4 volumes, because each of those pieces throughout all those volumes was like a diary, a sound diary in a way. And I was like living in different cities, like around the country, as I made all those. But this one, Volume 5, I was living in the same place the entirety of it. So, yeah, and River being actually contributed. The first thing you hear on the entire tape is this pad that they made. We worked together on it. They did some of the video editing for me just to help me out when I was having lots of vertigo stuff happening. I just had trouble editing. So yeah, that's the album. Thanks for listening. We'll just chill with the music for a little outro. Catch y'all next time.